Dave, when Josiah Gray just spoke with us, he mentioned that it was a confidence booster when you left him in the game to get out of that bases loaded situation. How important is it for him to learn how to navigate through those situations?
It's great. It's a great learning on the job type thing for JoJo. And he stepped up, made pitches when he needed to, and got us through that inning. And you look at where we're at in the pen, a big game, a rubber match of a game. And for him to get through that fourth inning was big for us, so we can line some other guys up towards the back end. And he's only going to get better. And there's no better way to learn than experience. So really well done.
And Brewstar had 6 up, 6 down. What did you see from him today?
I love the way, obviously, Brewstar brings energy every night. I thought the command was a grade or two better than it was the other night. I thought the slider had the depth, the swing and miss, and for him to give us 2 innings was huge.
And we noticed that Joe Kelly had a little bit of a limp when he came off the field. Is he okay?
We'll see. From what I understand, it was his hamstring when he tried to make that play on the swing and bunt in that from off the bat of Crone. So yeah, he's hobbled a little bit. I guess we'll know tomorrow once he comes in for treatment on the travel day, and we can assess then.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Next question is from Rowan Kavner. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, I know we talk a lot about Chris Taylor's versatility defensively, but what is his ability just to fill in atop the lineup with Mookie out done for you guys?
Yeah. I mean, he's invaluable. Having players out, your regular players out, and for him to step up, play a premium defensive position, have a huge day offensively, take the at-bats, obviously the homers. We needed every bit of it. And that's why I just think so highly of the person and the player, and led us to a series.
And with Josiah, how encouraging has the swing and miss stuff been, and how much better do his secondaries look just compared to maybe, like a year ago?
The secondaries, I think, for me is something that's really a positive going forward. I think with JoJo, it's just continuing to command the fastball. And when he can locate that fastball with the characteristics it does have, keep guys honest with the breaking balls, the 2 different breaking balls he has, it's going to be really fun to watch. He's a special player.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next question is from JB Hornstra. Go ahead.
Dave, just to follow up on pregame, what ultimately tipped the scales in favor of putting Mookie on the IL?
We started trying to crank it up a little bit today and wasn't sure if by Tuesday he'd be ready to go. So I think at that point, it just made our decision that much easier. We tried to, kick it down the road a little bit longer and wait as long as we could. But at some point we had to make a decision, and that point was today at about noon.
Independent of where the rest of your pitching staff is health-wise, what has Josiah done to earn that next start?
I think where we're at, obviously, with our staff, not getting Clayton back yet, and also pitching well in the minors, being healthy and making starts. And here, his first 2 major league starts, I thought they were really good starts. And we know he's only going to get better with the experience. So, I think those things, it makes sense for him to get that next start.
Last one for me, with that play at the plate in the 4th inning, I know when the catcher gets the ball first, like Diaz did, I know there are some restrictions on what the runner can do. Can AJ even take a different lane there? Is there anything he should have or could have done differently?
No, there's nothing he could have done right there. You're trying to scratch out runs, and I just felt that, we had Rayleigh behind the pitcher spot. AJ was going on contact. Crone made a nice play, and there's nothing else he could have done.
Next question is from Bill Shakin. Go ahead.
Dave, when we spoke with Josiah, he said, of course, it's up to the team what happens from here, but he'd be happy to help in any role. Do you see him developing as a starter for the rest of the year, or could there be a role for him in the bullpen down the stretch?
Well, we've always seen JoJo as a starter. We still do. And to keep him stretched out, making starts, I think is best for him and for the Dodgers. But if we do get to a point where we see his value for the 21 Major League club in the pen, I'm sure we'll have that conversation. And it just speaks to JoJo as a man, the buy-in and doing whatever he can to help us. So he's a major league pitcher, and right now we see him as a starter.
Thank you.
Last one's from Eric Steven. Go ahead.
Dave, is there anything you're seeing from Will Smith of late? I know he's on a bit of a power kick.
No, I don't. I think that he's got power in there. He's just such a smart hitter. When he needs that base hit to use the other side of the field, he can do that. When they make a mistake in the zone, he can elevate it. So, he's a 20, 25 homer guy for me, and with the high on base, and he's doing exactly what we'd hoped for. And honestly, we've plugged him in the middle of the order, for the last year and a half, and he's only going to get better.
With Cody pinch hitting there late, how did he feel with the hamstring? Any ill effects from that?
No, I thought initially he tried to come out of there a little hot, but he slowed it down, and I think we came out of it okay. And so it's day to day, and hope I can pencil him in on Tuesday.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everybody.